So, good afternoon to all. So, welcome back to the microbiology class. I think this is the third session I am doing. The topic we are discussing is on nitrogen cycle. In nitrogen cycle, I think we have briefly discussed the different processes that are involved in nitrogen cycle. So here the important ones are mineralization. In mineralization, I think we have discussed about ammonification and nitrification. So after that, we have discussed on denitrification, nitrogen assimilation. So and also we have discussed on different process of by nitrogen fixation. There are three methods of nitrogen fixation, mainly atmospheric nitrogen fixation, industrial nitrogen fixation, and biological nitrogen fixation. So this also we have discussed briefly. So now we need to discuss, as per the course syllabus, in detail. We have to go into the biological nitrogen fixation, and we have to discuss on different microorganisms which are involved or which will do the biological nitrogen fixation. Okay. So now I will start with a subtopic: biological nitrogen fixing microorganisms or biological nitrogen fixing biofertilizers. Okay. So biological nitrogen fixing microorganisms can also be used as a biological nitrogen fixing biofertilizers. Okay. So these biological nitrogen fixing microorganisms are those microorganisms which have ability to convert molecular nitrogen, that is N2 form of nitrogen, into ammonia with the help of an enzyme nitrogenase. So this nitrogen fixation in microorganism may happen symbiotically by associating with the plant, or they may fix this nitrogen freely without association of any crops. Okay. So here, so you can see that nitrogen molecule will be converted into ammonia. See, the nitrogen fixing microorganisms are broadly classified into three categories. So one is free living nitrogen fixers, associative nitrogen fixers, and symbiotic nitrogen fixers. So we will briefly study each of these. So coming to the free living nitrogen fixers or free living nitrogen fixing organisms, these are the microorganisms which have ability to convert atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia without association of any plant. So in a soil, whether there is a plant or not, so these microorganisms are normal heterotroph. When they are growing, so they will fix atmospheric nitrogen for their use. So they convert it to ammonia, they incorporate it as a proteins. And in this case, if there is any excess nitrogen, that will be released into the soil. So the examples of free living nitrogen fixers are, so you need to remember at least one or two of these. So Azotobacter is one of the free living nitrogen fixing bacteria which is most commonly used as a biofertilizers in vegetables and fruit crops. Azomonas, Derkshia, Behringia ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ spelling ತಪ್ಪಿದೆ. So these are the aerobic nitrogen fixers. Among free living, there are also anaerobic nitrogen fixers. Example, Clostridium or Clostridium pastorianum, Chlorobium, Chromatium, and facultative aerobic nitrogen fixers, Bacillus polymixa, Enterobacter, Klebsiella, Rhodospirillum, and microaerophilic. That means those organisms which require very low concentration of oxygen, they are called as microaerophilic. Microaerophilic nitrogen fixers, example is Azospirillum, So this also you need to remember. Okay. And under free living nitrogen fixing organisms, even you can include blue-green algae. So blue-green algae are cyanobacteria. So they are single-celled organisms which have a chlorophyll, which have ability to synthesize their own food. Apart from this group of algae have ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen. Example, nostoc, Anabaena, Cytonema. Next comes associative nitrogen fixing microorganism. So these associative nitrogen fixing organisms are also having ability to fix the atmospheric nitrogen freely. So, but these organisms, so we are found mostly associated with particular group of crops, or to say that, so these organisms will be always present in higher numbers near the root zone of particular group of crops. Sometimes they are also found inside the root of these crops. So those microorganisms which are closely associated with the roots of particular crops, roots or root zone of particular crops, and fix nitrogen, they are called as associative nitrogen fixing organisms. So here, why these organisms stay close to the roots means near the roots they will get a food which is released by the plants as a root exudates. In turn, it will provide the nitrogen to the crop. Examples: Azospirillum, all species of Azospirillum, Beringia. So these you need to remember examples of associative nitrogen fixing organism: Azospirillum and Beringia. This spelling ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಪ್ಪಿರ್ತದೆ, notes ನಲ್ಲಿ correct ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. So these Azospirillum and Beringia, so they are always found in very high numbers on above the roots and in the root zone of grasses, those crops which belongs to Graminae family. For example, wheat, maize, sorghum, paddy, bajra, millets, like this. So these organisms are called as associative nitrogen fixers. Next one is symbiotic nitrogen fixing organisms. So here these are the microorganisms, so which will fix the nitrogen only when they are in association with particular plants. So here an example is Rhizobium. Rhizobium, when it is present freely in heterotrophic form in soil, it will not fix the nitrogen. So when this Rhizobium will be associated with the leguminous plants, so here it will enter the root hairs of the legumes, it will form root nodules, it will stay in the root nodule, it will provide or it will get the food nutrition and shelter from the host or a symbiotic partner. In turn, it will fix the nitrogen for it in the form of ammonia. So those organisms which fix the nitrogen when they are in symbiotic association with the plants, they are called as symbiotic nitrogen fixing organisms. Symbiosis is an interrelationship between two organisms where both organisms get benefited. Okay, example is Rhizobium. So there are different species of Rhizobium which will be symbiotically associated with the leguminous plants. Leguminous plants means those plants, we can say pulses, Priashri. So those plants which form nodules are pulses, ದ್ವಿದಳ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, where if you take a seed, so it can be broken down into two dals. So these are legumes. So in all these leguminous, whether they are tree or shrub or crop plants, grasses, so in all these different species of Rhizobium will be associated where they will form nodule and fix the nitrogen. So apart from Rhizobium, there are also other organisms which can symbiotically associated with different plants and fix the nitrogen. Akshata, ಏನು ಗೀಚ್ಬೇಡಿ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ. So there are three symbiotic are the three important symbiotic nitrogen fixing systems which you need to study. That means, so in which are all the plants or which are all the microorganism groups, they will associate and fix the nitrogen. These are the examples. There are three major examples. One is called symbiosis in leguminous plants, that is legume rhizobium symbiosis. Second one is symbiosis in non-leguminous plants. It is also called as actinorhizal symbiosis. I will come back to this. Third one is Azolla annabena symbiosis. Okay. Next, coming to the symbiosis in leguminous plants. So here, these can also be called as legume rhizobium symbiosis. Symbiosis in leguminous plants actually represents symbiosis of rhizobium species with the different leguminous plants and fixation of nitrogen. So here what will happen is rhizobium will be present freely in the soil, and when there is a leguminous plant, both leguminous plant roots as well as a rhizobium will be continuously producing signal molecules. Okay, so here, one second, plant will be producing signal molecules called as lectins. One second. So plant will be producing a signal molecules called as flavonoids, and rhizobium will be producing a signal molecules called as a lectin. When both the partners identify that, so when flavonoids are identified by rhizobium, so it will identify there is a leguminous plant near to it. When plant identify lectins, it identifies that there is a rhizobium. So once rhizobium isolates, it sits on the roots. So plant will allow entry of these roots, bacteria inside the root. It will enter inside the root, it will form nodules. There it is going to fix the nitrogen. So this is the legume symbiosis interaction. Okay, so here you can see the one nodules where there is a red color inside. So the effective nodules will be bigger in size. So when you take a nodule and crush it, when you take a root nodule and crush it, so you will see a blood type pink color ooze. So this pink color ooze is because of the presence of one chemical called leg hemoglobin. It is similar to the hemoglobin of our blood. Okay. So like this, in legume rhizobium symbiosis, there will not be only one rhizobium species which will nodulate all the legumes. There are many rhizobium species, so which will nodulate particular group of legumes. These are called cross inoculation groups or species of rhizobium. Examples of genera of rhizobium: Rhizobium, Azorhizobium, Bradyrhizobium, Cynorhizobium. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. These are the genera of different species, genera of rhizobium. ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಗೆ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ. That is, there are some rhizobium which will form the nodules on the stems. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸೆಸ್ಬೇನಿಯಾ ರೋಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಾ ಅಥವಾ ಸಣಬು ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ ಸಣಬು. ಸೊ ಆ ಸಣಬಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಕೂಡ ನಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಮ್ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಂ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ದಿ ನಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಈವನ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್. ಸೊ one example is, here you can see Azorhizobium calinodans. Azorhizobium calinodans. It is a stem nodulating rhizobium. ಇದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬರೀಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. ಸೊ the type of nodules and number of nodules will vary from one plant to another plant. ಈಗ ಚಿಕ್ಪಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತ ನಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ರೆಡ್ ಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಗ್ರೌಂಡ್ ನಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ನಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್ ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸಿ ದಟ್ ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ನಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಕೌಪಿ. ಸೊ ದೊಡ್ಡದ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್, ಬಿಗ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಕೌಪಿ ನಾಡ್ಯೂಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಮ್ ಟು ದ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡ್, ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, this is a groundnut nodule. So this is the third one is, smaller one is chickpea nodules. So the number of nodules, size of the nodules and shape of the nodules will vary from one plant to another plant. Okay. Here you can see this, the root nodules. So you have to see the difference between these nodules and first slide, these nodules. So these are good nodules which are formed by rhizobium. This is a disease. This is a disease which is forming a knots. This is a nematode disease. We call it as a root knot disease formed by nematodes. So how to differentiate the galls formed from nematodes and rhizobium? If you see the nodules here, if you see the knots, so in nematodes attacked plant, the nodules will be coming from inside the plant. Knots ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೂಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಬಂದು ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಡಿಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. Roots are deformed, the knots are formed inside the roots. ಆಯ್ತಾ? If you see the nodules in leguminous plants, so these nodules like bubbles, they are sitting on the roots. Root deform agilla illi, both secondary and primary roots are intact and healthy. So the nodules are sitting like a bubble on the roots. Primary roots, secondary roots melgade bubbles tara kuntirtave. If you try to remove these rhizobium nodules, these bubbles, they can be easily removed. And another thing is, if you crush them, you will get a pincus. That's how you can differentiate between rhizobium nodules and root nodules. Okay, so that is about symbiosis, symbiotic nitrogen fixation system. Next one is symbiosis in non-leguminous plants. So symbiosis in non-leguminous plants, it is also called as actinorhizal symbiosis. Apart from bacteria and cyanobacteria, so there is one actinomycetes which is called as Frankia alni. Frankia, so which is capable of fixing, which is capable of forming nodules in more than 200 species of tree plants, belongs to more than 70 genera and 8 families. In case of rhizobium, they are plant specific. There are different species of rhizobium. In case of actinomycetes, that is Frankia, only one species, that is Frankia alni, can nodulate more than 200 species of tree plants, which are belongs to more than 70 genera and 8 families. Okay, so some of the tree species which are nodulated by Frankia, they are called Casuarina, Alnus, Myrica. Tree species example. So in the photograph, you can see the nodules which are formed by actinomycetes or Frankia. Since it is a symbiosis between the plant and actinomycetes, it is called as a actinorhizal symbiosis, root and actinomycetes. Okay, next one, another interesting symbiosis is Azolla annabena symbiosis. Azolla, you might have seen Azolla. So many farmers grow this as a fodder for their milching animals. So Azolla is a small water fern. Azolla is a small water fern, so which will grow by floating on the water. So ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನೇರಳಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಕೂಡ ಅಜೋಲಾ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ. ಅಜೋಲಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇದೆ. There are many species of Azolla. So in India, Azolla pinnata is more common. I will come back to that. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಈಗ ನೀವು ಅಜೋಲಾ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತಿಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಸಿ ದಿ ಅಜೋಲಾ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೀವಿಲ್ಲಿ, ಸೊ ಈ ಲೀಫ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗಿರ್ತವೆ, ಇದು ಲೋಬ್ಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಒಂದ್ ಎರಡೆರಡು ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ತರ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಲೋಬ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಡಾರ್ಸಲ್ ಲೋಬು, ವೆಂಟ್ರಲ್ ಲೋಬು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಲೋಬ್ಸ್, ಈ ತರದ್ ಇರುವಂತ ಲೀವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಜೋಲಾ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಎಸ್ ಎ ಫ್ರಾಂಡ್ಸ್. ಈ ಫ್ರಾಂಡ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿರ್ತದೆ, ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಆ ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನೀರಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ. ಓಕೆ, so these fronds are lobed. They have a dorsal lobe and ventral lobe. So inside or lower side of the dorsal lobe, in the lower side of the dorsal lobe, one blue green algae is housed. So one blue green algae irutte under the lower side of the dorsal lobe. So that blue green algae is called as a Anabaena azola. Anabaena azola is symbiotically associated with this water fern azola, and it is present in the below the dorsal lobe of the azola leaflet. Azola leaflet alli irtade. So here the azola will get nutrients and safer house. Azola ge safer house sigutte, nutrients sigutte. In turn, this blue green algae Anabaena azola will fix nitrogen into this azola crop. Nitrogen fix ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. So you can see the left side bottom picture here. So this is the microscopic picture of Anabaena azola. So in between vegetative cells, it has one bigger cells which is called as a heterocyst. This heterocyst will house an enzyme nitrogenase which will fix the nitrogen. So this is azola Anabaena symbiosis. So in azola, there are many species of azola, so which are found throughout the world. It's like azola pinnata, azola carolinonina, azola folliculoides, azola microphylla, azola mexicana, azola nilotica. So like this, there are many species which are grown in different parts of the world. But in India, azola pinnata is commonly found. Normal agi water bodies nalli azola pinnata ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ, but we have imported all these species and we are growing it. So ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಜೋಲಾದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಅಜೋಲಾದ ಏನು ಸ್ಪೆಷಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಅಜೋಲಾ ಗ್ರೋಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್, ತುಂಬಾ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಬೆಳೀತದೆ ಇದು. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಎ one small pond, put water, if there is a continuous presence of water and some little shade, so it doubles other biomass. So it doubles its biomass for every 5 to 7 days. So 10 kg ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಇವತ್ತು, ಮುಂದಿನ ವಾರದೊಳಗೆ 20 kg ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So by third week it will become 40 kg. By fourth week it will become 80 kg. So like this, by every week it will double its biomass. So this azola can be grown easily in paddy where there will be continuous standing of water. So here for every hectare, Ramesh Aragi, Ramesh Aragi, ಯಾರಪ್ಪ ರಮೇಶ್ ಅರ್ಗಿ? ಸಚಿನ್ ಯಾರು ರಮೇಶ್ ಅರ್ಗಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಪ್ಪ?
ನಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ಮೇಟ್ ಸರ್ ರಮೇಶ್ ಅರ್ಗಿ.
ನಾವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದ್ರೊಳಗಡೆ ಅವ್ನು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಡಿ, ಅವ್ನಿಗೆ ಬರಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ.
ಓಕೆ,
ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬರೋದ್ ಬೇಡ. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಇದನ್ನ? ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಪ್ಯಾಡಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ವೇರ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟರ್, ದಿಸ್ ಅಜೋಲಾ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಗ್ರೋನ್. ಸೊ ಇನ್ 1 hectare it grows and produces minimum 20 tons of biomass. 20 ಟನ್ ಗ್ರೀನ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಬಯೋಮಾಸ್ ಕಂಟೈನ್ 0.5% nitrogen on wet weight basis. Wet weight basis ಮೇಲೆ 5% ಇರ್ತದೆ. Dry weight basis ಮೇಲೆ it contains 0.5%. On dry weight basis it contains 5% nitrogen. ಸೊ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಹೆಕ್ಟೇರ್ಗೆ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ 100 ರಿಂದ 150 kg ಅಷ್ಟು, it can able to add 100 to 150 kg of nitrogen. ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ಯಾಡಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಸಾಯಿಲ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫಾರ್ ದ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಆಡ್ ನೈಟ್ರೋಜನ್. Apart from that, it will also contain 0.5 to 1% of potassium, phosphorus, and other micronutrients. So this azolla can also be grown in small ponds near the home or in the field, and this azolla can be fed to the milching animals. So where this will enhance the milk production. Milk production and 5 to 25% enhancement will be there. This is like an energy booster. ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೂಸ್ಟ್ ಹಾರ್ಲಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆ ರೀತಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಂ. ಈ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಮೊದಲೇ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಯ್ತು, ಇದು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಂ. I was telling you that a single rhizobium species will not nodulate all the leguminous crops. So there are the rhizobium species are species plant specific. One species of rhizobium particular related species na nodulate ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಟ್ರೀ ಲೆಗ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವ, ಅವನು ಕೂಡ nodulate ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಮ್ ಯಾವ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಗಳು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಗೆ ನಾಡುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಡ್ 7 species. So these 7 species, they are called as a cross inoculation groups. This is important. These are called the cross inoculation groups in rhizobium. So for example, they have grouped as, there are 7 groups called as P group. So which is called as a Rhizobium leguminosarum. So which include Pisum, peas, Vicia, lents, and bean groups. It is called as Rhizobium paspali, Phaseolus group, clover group, Rhizobium trifoli, alfalfa group, Rhizobium meliloti, lupini group, Rhizobium lupini, soybean group, Rhizobium japonicum, cowpea group, Rhizobium species. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಲ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈ 7 ಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಇನಾಕ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ನ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್, ಓಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಂ ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್. ರೀಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ನ್ಯೂ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬರ್ಗೀಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನ್ಯುಯಲ್ 14th ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, so they have removed these 7 cross inoculation groups. ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕ್ಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, otherwise no problem. This is just for your information. So they have taken only 5 genera. 5 genera ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So 5 genera ಅದರೊಳಗಡೆ different species ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. In rhizobium, so there are 3 species: Rhizobium leguminosarum, Rhizobium meliloti, and Rhizobium loti. Okay. Rhizobium loti ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋಟಸ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್, ಮೆಲಿಲೋಟಿ ಮೆಡಿಕಾಗೋ ಗ್ರೂಪ್, ಲೆಗ್ಯುಮಿನೋಸಾರಮ್ ಸೊ ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಕ್ಲವರು, ಬೀನ್ಸು, ಪೀಸು ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ Rhizobium leguminosarum is further divided into 3 varieties or biovars: Biovar trifoli, Biovar Phaseoli, and Biovar Vicia. ಅದೇ ತರ ದಿ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಜೀನಸ್ Bradyrhizobium. ಸೊ ಇದರೊಳಗಡೆ 2 ಸ್ಪೀಸೀಸ್ ಇದೆ: Bradyrhizobium japonicum which will nodulate soybean, Bradyrhizobium species which will nodulate cowpea. ನಿಮಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ದಿ ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಂ which will nodulate soybean is Bradyrhizobium japonicum. Rhizobium which will nodulate cowpea, Bradyrhizobium species. ಇಷ್ಟು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ Azorhizobium, ಇದನ್ನ ಅವಾಗಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಸ್ಟೆಮ್ ನಾಡ್ಯುಲೇಟಿಂಗ್ ರೈಸೋಬಿಯಂ, Azorhizobium calinodans. It is forms stem nodules in Sesbania rostrata. ಇದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. And the fourth one is Cynorhizobium. Cynorhizobium, it will nodulate a particular variety of soybean called as pecking variety of soybean. Species Cynorhizobium Freddi inbutu. And the fifth one is called Photorhizobium. Photosynthetic rhizobium species are available. These are included in Photorhizobium species. They are found to form the nodules in roots and stems of Ascochyme indica. ನೀವು ಇದರೊಳಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು Azorhizobium, Bradyrhizobium japonicum ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಇವು ಇಷ್ಟು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಟೈಮ್ ರನ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಇಂದ ಆಚೆ ಬನ್ನಿ.